Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's me, Paddy from across the shuck, and you're very welcome back to the channel. And today I've got a topic that might interest some of you. It might change your opinion, maybe not, but it's something that it's just been evolving over the last sort of 6 months in my own use, and why I'm going to explain why. This is about the sodbuster, which is just a fabulous pattern. It's been made for donkey's years, long before Case done it. It probably goes back to the French. It was a farmer's knife. But it's when Case came to fame, they named it the sodbuster and claimed it basically as their own. But it was a knife that had been going around for hundreds of years. I love it. I think it's a fantastic pattern. This little beauty is the one in CV, which is what I tend to like in most of my blades, but especially a working knife, because the CV carbon blades strop back so easily. It takes seconds to stick a blade like this on a strop, and you can bring back an edge. Never let it go dull. Always have a strop of some sort, even if it's just your belt with you if you're going to use it. Just the back of a leather belt. Wear a good leather belt. That's what I do. I've got a lovely leather belt. I can take it off. I usually have compound scraped on the back. I can maybe even, well, I'm not going to take my belt off now, but I'll show you another time what I do. I just put a bit of green compound in the back of it and leave it there. And if I do need it, I can take it off and give it a quick strop. But I also carry a little leather strop in the back of my notebook that I carry every day. So I've always got something to strap my knife on. I was actually using it after I'd done a mistake. We over at Sharp Show recently, myself, Slippy, Justin and Sean, all went out for a meal, and I had a meat dinner, so I was using my knife to cut my meat up, which I tend to do a lot of the times. And then afterwards, because when you're cutting on delf of any kind, it will dull the edge. But I hate having a dull knife in my pocket. So I just took my little leather. No, I was eating breakfast. That's what I was doing. I was eating breakfast, a fry-up. And I just pulled my little leather strap out, set it on the side of the table, give it a quick couple of strops, checked it on a bit of paper. It was perfect again. It was, well, maybe not perfect, but it was as good a sharp knife as I'll ever need. It would have done anything. So I like having that about me. But the carbon I prefer because of that fact that they do take a screaming edge really quickly and really easily, which is perfect for a knife person. And this is the Case one. This is in the bone, and they call this a sodbuster, but yet it doesn't have a bird's eye pivot, which is something I always like to have in my sodbusters. But it doesn't really matter because it's the shape. It's that handle that's slightly curved on the inside. There's nowhere to put your fingers. You just grip on, hold it, and that's it. You're ready to go. There's no thinking, no nothing. It's a great little do-it-all every day. And this thin version, to me, is an EDC sodbuster. It'll do anything in the EDC word. I wouldn't want to be going out and doing, stripping branches or anything like that. That's not what it's for. It's an EDC for everyday tasks. That's all it is. But it's super. Really well made. This is Case doing a really great job. Perfect fit and finish. I love it. This was a gift from Gizmo, and I love it. And then to go on the upper end, this is a Shing custom in micarta, beautiful micarta. This has the bird's eye pivot. That's the bird's eye pivot. The brass with the stainless in the middle. Just a beautiful look, a real lovely look, and little small pins. This is a beautiful knife. Shing really did make a great job. There's a little liner, a little black liner, which defines the brass between the brass and the wood. It is just beautiful. Really well made in 52-100, which is a lovely tool steel. It really is lovely, and it again, the nice thing about it, it refreshes really easily on a strop. It'll bring it back after use and gives you the knife that you can carry on with the rest of your day, and it's not going to be blunt. Say you do something at 9 o'clock in the morning. This is what I would hate to be out for the whole day, have one knife, and I use it at 9 o'clock in the morning on something difficult and the edge is gone. So that's why I always carry that leather strop with me in my back pocket. Just in my notebook. It's a little thin piece of leather. It's nothing thick or nothing, it's just a thin piece of leather and I can use it. And it's always got strop and compound because I always recharge it after I've used it. So there you go. There are two beautiful knives. And I'm going to then match them up with two knives that I'm starting to reach for more and more. And well, I'm going to go for price ranges. I've got another one in a price range that matches this. And it is listen to that. That's beautiful. This is a Nunchucky jack. And I've chosen this one over the sodbuster that they do, which is a fantastic sodbuster. The Rosecraft always come in D2, which is great. But I chose the Nunchucky because if I want to do some decent hard work or go down and slay a lot of boxes in the bin room here, this is what I take with me more than most. I love it. Their D2 is fantastic. I mean, I have used this in hospital. It hasn't even marked, maybe a slight mark, but nothing. Their D2 seems to be great. No rust at all, and I don't put any oil on them. I just don't put any oil on them because they haven't rusted at all. If they do tend to go off, I'll do it straight away and deal with it. But I love this knife. It's big. It's got a much longer handle. Now, I'm going to put it, this is the budget version. Sorry. Yeah, I mean, this is a budget version in the same price range, but it's larger. So for larger tasks, I take this with me rather than the small one. Bigger blade, but this is the thing about it. It's a spear. And I'm enjoying the spear for more hard work than I ever done. I always like the drop point in a sodbuster, and I do. I think it's fantastic. But when I want something that's a bit harder or a bit more, this is a better blade stock as well. It's a thicker blade stock on it. Not a huge difference, so it's not a big thick knife. But with a D2, this absolutely is my hard use go-to for medium priced knives. So you've got that case and these, they're roughly the same price. I'm sure there's not that much difference. Maybe that's actually a wee bit dearer than the Nunchucky. I haven't priced it because it was one of the first knives that Rosecraft done. So on the custom side, and this is where this started to show me the difference. This beautiful Shing, like I said, beautifully well made, lovely lockup, just a great blade. That drop point again, super. And this is in 52-100, which is a great tool steel. And this is the Ashley Harrison. This is the one that I designed. I give the design to Ashley, and it's based on an old A.G. Russell knife. That I've seen, especially the blade is just based on that, but I wanted that sodbuster type handle, which again is a little bit deeper at the bottom. There we go. This is exactly the same size, the case, but it's a different price range. So there you go. It's a beefier stock. It has like a swell in the center. What's the best way to show you that? Probably here. If you can see, it is thicker in the center here. Not really doing a great job of showing this, am I? But there we go. Maybe that's better. You can see the difference in the center. It has a thicker center. It is slightly thicker all over. It has a wider end on it. And I just think for picking up and for EDC, this is perfect. Now, the difference between this and the case, this one has 01 tool steel, which is a better steel than the carbon, but not that much. Do you know what I mean? It's not that much. That's not what this is based on, but it's based on, I can do more with this one than I can with this, I feel, because of that thick spear point. When I say thick, the depth of it is thick compared to just the basic sodbuster. And I love that. I have grown to fall in love with it completely. Point, it has got a much better point on it, which was one of the things that I specified with Ashley when I was getting this. It's got a nice little swedge on it, but it's a real work knife. It's not the most stunning looking knife, but when you have it in hand and you use it, it's just a great work knife. So you can see there is a big difference in the the depth of the blade. I absolutely adore this, and I'm using this more and more over the little case, which I've loved for a long time. That's not the first little case sodbuster I've had, but this just really gets me. And it's got a hollow grind, which I love on a spear. The Shing it's a flat grind, but it cuts every bit as nice. The Shing is so much heavier than this. So, I mean, this would be the one that I'd want to take, much like the Nullichucky. If I want to do some more heavy work, the Shing I'll do, you know, I can strip bark, do whatever. I would use this rather than the case or even the Ashley, because to me, there is a separation in blades that makes one better than the other. I think I can get more use out of a spear than I can out of the drop point. Now, it's a very small difference, I'll grant you. It's a very small difference. But what I am tending to do is these two with the spear are starting to overtake the use that I would put on these. And that's really it's quite a transformation for me. And this one really started it. I'd had the Nullichucky long before this, but it is a larger knife and I wasn't using it how it should have been. This is something that you want to use for more beefy jobs. This is an EDC, but by goodness, with that hollow grind, good blade stock, it's pretty and it's been done beautifully by Ashley. He made 3 of these, one for me, Justin and Mikey, and I just adore it. This to me is what I think I've always wanted a sodbuster to be. I love the point on it. And, pointy knives are really, I suppose I'm saying that, and I love Barlow's. Clip point Barlow's is my favourite blade. But that point is so good, and great for getting in places. I just love this knife. So I'm finding that these two I'm tending to use more than the original shaped sodbuster. Isn't that strange? After so long around, and so long having knives, that this one little knife from Ashley that he made for me, I just think this design has legs that really, really should go and go. I love this knife. I would love Arthur Wright to make a budget version of this. I think it's just a gem, an absolute gem. And to have it in Iki wood and C70, absolutely super. Absolutely super. Really nice. This is in ironwood, desert ironwood, which is some of the nicest desert ironwood. Look at the blonde in that, and it's just the configuration of it. It's just beautiful. Nicest desert ironwood I've ever seen. So there you go. It's something to ponder. Do you know what I mean? Something to ponder, because sometimes I think the spear point is maligned because it hasn't got a point, but there is ones out there that have a point. And when they have a point, it changes my use for them so much. Again, this one has a good point on it. Maybe not a stabby pokey as that, but it doesn't need to be. It's got a beautiful big belly. Beautiful big belly, as does this one. Just lovely bellies. Look, the sodbuster is not going to ever go away, but for me, it's definitely changing up of the uses that I want for it. These two are what I call my heavy lifting ones, and these ones are my just everyday carry. And it's also nice to have a choice. I would never get rid of this because I think it's a fantastic knife. I'm not demeaning it whatsoever, but this is taking over because this can nearly do what both of these patterns can do. The sodbuster and a spear pointed. No, I'm not going to call it a spear-pointed sodbuster. This is called the Forager. And I think it's a great knife, even if you're doing mushroom picking. It's just a lovely knife to take in the woods. Absolutely lovely. And I've no fear taking, twigs and small branches. It's just lovely. And, it's kind of... What do you think? I mean, do you have something else in your... Not that you're going to replace it completely, but something that challenges it. Is it a different blade shape or whatever? But to me, I think it's worth giving it a go with a spear, and because they have that simple handle. It's a bent stick. I mean, they're just simple handle. You lift them up, you put your hands in, everything falls into place. From that to the cheapest, exactly the same with this here. You've got a splayed out end here, a bulbous end as I call them. Beautiful knife. This is a large knife. It's, have a large hand. I get all full 4 fingers, spread out, comfortable. If I'm going to do anything that's a bit longer or a bit harder, then I need to put a bit of pressure on. That is the knife. Sorry, my focus is all over the place today. But there we go. There's the comparisons. And is there a big difference between these two and these two? These are customs, cost much more than these. Will these two do the same job? They will. They will. Now, these two, the design and the blade steel for me, I just love the blade steel on. These a bit better than I love it on these. But it's what you like and what you choose. It doesn't really matter. You're not stuck. I mean, the Rosecraft sodbuster is amazing. It's got the same shape as this, exactly the same sort of shape as it, and it's perfect. Absolutely brilliant as a sodbuster. Super job. So it's up to you. The choice is yours. But there is options out there if you want a working knife. These are what I call working knives. And I can't believe how much the spear point has taken over from the drop point. I can't believe the difference. And the fat spear is just really good in this handle material. It's just a fantastic work knife. All right, I'm away. Waffled on. Take care. Bye now.